Hi. So I haven't been recording that many videos during the summer, and now I feel it all stacked up into this one. So I'm going to try to take it step by step and maybe not overwhelm all info that I've been thinking about this summer. But what keeps coming back and what keeps coming back in client sessions, but also among friends, is this big change that everyone is going through. And I do think maybe I'm speaking most to the people who really feel that they are here for this change that we are going through, and that has these new seeds within them. And for some, they are definitely already been planted, and for some, they are waiting to be planted because the frequency is not quite there yet. And that can depend on many things. But one of the things that I do think is happening with many, many souls or people or humans right now is really this clearing out the old. And we've been doing that for a long time, yes. But there is something about going to the core that is happening within me and with a lot of people around me. So it's not light, it's not easy, but it is kind of to go into those fears that keeps us participating in the old, that has kept us participating, that are keeping us participating. And with that being said, I do not believe in like the possibility to just cut out the old and go with the new, because we need to kind of find a balance in this time of huge change, and we're only in the beginning. So I do believe more in the present moment to kind of tend to what is going on in your own life. And for many right now, it is a lot about, and I think this can look in so many ways, but going to the core, going to simplicity, removing these layers that we have been creating for such a long time as a society that we do believe, think makes us safe. And kind of how else can we create the new? We create what we are. How can we create the new if we create it from a place where we still are participating and listening to those fears rather than meeting them and clearing them, and just kind of start from this more balanced, more loving place, basically, the opposite to fear, right? So I do believe that many, many, many are going through this, and I definitely been going through it last, I would say, right, we all have been doing a lot of change all through our lives if we're here to kind of be part of this new, and I think most people are in one way or the other, but these maybe last 3 years has been really intense in that respect, and really removing layers, layer after layer. And I got a beautiful channeling from a friend that said something along the lines of, how else can you discover your core if you have all these kind of, theatrics or things or kind of distractions. But if we're stripped off, just being kind of alone with nature, that is how we don't have anything else. So we got to use what we have. And we're kind of forced to use what we have. So I think a lot of us are in some respect, and this I think often happens through kind of crisis in some way, where we are forced to look at what is actually important, what matters. And again, coming down to the core, coming down to our essence, meeting nature, first of all, then meeting ourselves, meeting our physical body, meeting I also would say meeting death and meeting birth or rebirth, because this is kind of the moments where we are forced to remove everything else. So, and again, can happen in so many ways. And I do believe in respecting and not looking and comparing, but just trusting in your own way. Because I think that's also very much a message that that I gotten for a long time, that we have, and I also see it in astrological charts, natal charts, that we have these different pacings. We go through all kinds of, like, some starting above, some starting below, some go through illness, some kind of develop late in life, others do it early. There's no logic, there's no comparison. So just kind of let your life guide you. I think it's really, really important in this. But I wanted to come on and talk about this kind of core change that I feel is happening to so many people around me and also within me. And I think the what I have learned so far, and I'm going to share more about this because I'm not quite done. But to find that place within where we not only experience our core and experience this much more simple life, but also trust in it. To find that we can trust even when there feels to be nothing. And we can, and if we can trust in that, then we will have a lot of resilience for change. And we will be able to feel free. And I think I also saw, I posted it on my Instagram, a conversation about Plato and what he said about the importance of fulfillment. And I think that is so very important in this time. I think it comes with this bringing us to the core, bringing us to the essence, is also the showing us the purpose of our life, um, to like how can we be fulfilled. And if we have that as a guide, and that I think can be called meaning, it can be called devotion, it can be called vision and purpose. I don't know, there's so many names for it, but I think the emotion around it is really the fulfillment. And we're not going to be fulfilled all the time, but it's going to be this guiding mark that kind of makes sense and make meaning to life. And that is so important in these times of challenge, to have something to come back to have that, even though there's a lot of emotions going on, to come back to that will always kind of give new fuel. And for me, I made that my rhythm, to keep coming back to the purpose, to keep coming back to the meaning. And astrology-wise, is definitely this barbell's basket that everyone is talking about. And I think, to me, especially the movement in Aries, the Saturn and Neptune, again, calling us to find that meaning, that place of fulfillment that our essence, our soul is here for. And I think, again, that can be so many things. It can be creating a family, or having a specific role as a mother or as a father. It can be philosophy. It can be like discovering culture. It can be herbs, food, art, teaching, all kinds of things. And I think that is because that's also where our joy sippers in. And I think that is also so closely connected. And maybe aliveness is a good wording. It's not happiness I'm talking about. It's this kind of, bubbling feeling that keeps us going, because that's meaningful. So I I think these energies also have been a bit intensified with this eclipse. And so I just wanted to come on and share my perspective of this a bit bigger picture, but still very relevant in this eclipse month. And just that to keep on going and to be very open, because this is also Uranus in Gemini. Like it's here to really open up our mind, to not get stuck in that old story of scarcity or basically I'm powerless. As soon as you have a meaning and a purpose, you have power. You are not powerless. So you have a direction to move in. So I think that is valuable. Be very open. If you don't feel that like meaning or purpose or fulfillment, and also be very aware and conscious of not, because I think this is a time to do things differently. And that's not easy because a lot of things that we kind of act from is blind spots and all patterns. But I think it's also a time when the ability to change our patterns is like better than ever. So yeah, just some encouragement to if you feel a bit stuck, try to go to those places. What actually ignites you? What makes you feel fulfilled? Because it's not going to be like you have no clue because we all are what we are. We have our essence. So you probably have done a lot of things that makes you feel fulfilled, and just start there. What you already have experienced, what you already have, and kind of focus on that. I will have a course in this kind of realm during autumn. So an online but in-person course or program or series, whatever you want to call it. And that's going to touch upon these things, how we can either find that place of fulfillment, or if we found it, how can we kind of cultivate it more, make it more connected, make it more true, and how can we live it more. So that's going to be very much an interesting and exciting thing I'm looking forward to. But I will keep you posted, and all the information is on my website. The course is not up yet, but it will come soon. Also have Living the Zodiac if you're astro curious and want to get the foundations. We're going to go through this zodiac during 6 months. And so we have like the access to zodiac signs a month, and also some breath work. I also have my journeys if you're interested in needing a bit of support during this time. Also standalone sessions if that's a good place to start for you. So that's what I wanted to share today, and thank you for listening. Bye bye.